and jammed.
Nothing wrong with his knee.
Whoa.
What's wrong with his knee?
And he tripled.
The Detroit Pistons' consecutive defeats have made them one of the teams with the longest losing streaks in NBA history. They've lost more than 25 consecutive matches. What went wrong and made them to be in this situation? Let's look at the team's situation right now, with aggressive fans calling out to sell the team. The losing streak, according to Pistons center Isaiah Stewart and several other players on the team, is the hardest thing they've ever faced professionally. Head coach of the Pistons, Monty Williams, who earned a record-breaking $75.8 million contract this offseason, "We had a lot of tough breaks this year." Little Caesars Arena spectators chanted on Detroit owner Tom Gores to sell the franchise during the team's most recent home game. According to Forbes, the Pistons, who are currently valued at $3 billion and ranked 23rd out of the 30 NBA teams, were acquired by Gores for $325 million in 2011. Gores resisted selling the team, even though he acknowledged that he must bear some of the guilt for the losing streak at some level. Gores remarked, "They can say whatever they want, but that's ridiculous. In addition to winning, which is something we should do more of, we also give back to the community. Outside of basketball, we're engaged in multi-billion-dollar contracts. I can see why the fans are furious, but that's absurd to think." The Utah Jazz, led by Kelly Olynyk, scored 25 points and defeated Detroit 119-111, the Pistons' 25th consecutive loss, one shy of the NBA single-season record. After making the game-winning basket at the buzzer on Tuesday against the New Orleans Pelicans, guard John Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies celebrates. At 26, the records of the Philadelphia 76ers in 2013-14 and the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2010 and 11 are tied. With 28, the 76ers own the record overall. This losing streak began in the 2014-15 campaign and continued in the 2015-16 campaign. First-year coach Monty Williams stated, "I want to be careful with my words because this one hurts more than most of them." A team that competed last night scored 50 points thanks to rebounds and mistakes. It's quite difficult to comprehend how we might be outperformed in those categories. The audience chanted "sell the team" as the Pistons lost 2-26. Finally, he yelled "sell the team" to owner Tom Gores and his Platinum Equity Company. In Brooklyn on Saturday night, Detroit will resume play. "We're not 2-26 bad, no way we are that bad," said Kate Cunningham, who led Detroit with 28 points and 10 assists. "I think we can turn this around. We can play a much better brand of basketball." Are the Pistons coming back? The Detroit Pistons ended their 28-game losing streak on Saturday at Little Caesars Arena, defeating the Toronto Raptors 129-127 to avoid taking sole possession of the longest losing streak in NBA history. Not only was Detroit able to create NBA history, but it was also about to tie the record for the longest losing run in major American professional sports history, held by the Chicago Cardinals, who dropped 29 consecutive games in the NFL from 1942 to 1945. The Pistons hadn't triumphed since October 28th before their victory on Saturday. The game was close from the beginning, but the Pistons led by 8 points at the half thanks to a 14-4 run midway through the second quarter. The Pistons won their first game because of a strong performance by former NBA #1 pick Kate Cunningham, who finished with 30 points and 12 assists. Jalen Duren added 18 points and 17 rebounds. "We just continue to fight." After the game, Cunningham stated, "I'm just happy to be part of a group of guys that don't quit and bring it every day and still play positive and uplift each other." Following the game, Monty Williams, the head coach of the Detroit Pistons, spoke about the win. "Guys were screaming, I was on the verge of tears, and I'm happy for everyone in the locker room, not just our guys." After falling to the Celtics, the Pistons had lost 28 straight games, matching the record held by the Philadelphia 76ers, who had a 28-game losing streak spanning 2 seasons from the 2014-15 to the 2016-16 campaigns. The Pistons had the benefit of playing against a Raptors team competing without 3 players after the team agreed to trade star forward OG Anunoby, guard Malachi Flynn, and forward Precious Achiuwa to the New York Knicks in exchange for RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, and a second-round draft pick. The 76ers held a previous record for the longest losing streak in a single season, and the 2010-11 Cleveland Cavaliers lost 26 games in a row during their seasons. How did one of the most legendary teams in the NBA end up being the target of several funny memes on social media and a topic of ridicule on national sports talk shows? Team owner Gores is undoubtedly not without worries. He needs clarification, and he needs it now. He knew he couldn't remain silent much longer, which is in large part why he called an impromptu conference call with a few members of the media to explain the team's situation. Consistent health has been a problem for the Pistons among their many other issues. They were missing third-year forward Isaiah Livers, recently signed point guard Monte Morris, and seasoned player Bojan Bogdanovic to begin their 2023-24 campaign. During a pre-training camp session, Livers sustained a grade 3 ankle sprain, Morris sustained a right quad injury, and Bogdanovic was sidelined with a right calf injury. The Pistons started the game without their greatest shooter and leading scorer from the previous campaign, Bogdanovic, their best 3-and-D player, Livers, and the likely backup to Cade Cunningham, Morris. Morris hasn't yet made his Pistons debut, to put it one step further. Jalen Duren has been in and out of the Pistons lineup, most recently because of lower leg problems. Due to a right ankle injury, he's missed the last 8 games, depriving Detroit of its best low post threat on the court. Due to illnesses or injuries, Isaiah Stewart, Killian Hayes, Alec Burks, Joe Harris, and Jaden Ivey have also missed time from action at different periods during this current run. The Pistons' coach, Monty Williams, has been unable to accurately assess which players fit or don't fit into his system because of the players' unavailability. A squad that is understaffed is doomed to failure, especially if it's trying to turn things around. To put it mildly, the Pistons are a poor three-point shooting team. They shot 33.4% from three-point range, which puts them at the bottom of the NBA, similar to their current record. The Pistons try to make the fewest three-pointers per game, 29.5, in addition to having the fewest three-pointers taken. Bojan Bogdanovic is the only player on the roster averaging more than 2 made three-pointers per game, 2.9, and he's shooting an impressive 40%. Their next best three-point shooter is statistically Isaiah Stewart at 39%. Stewart had a solid start to the season as he transitioned to being more of a stretch four, shooting 42% beyond the arc in the first 12 games, but he followed it up in an 8-game stretch from November 17th to December 2nd, where he shot 29% from deep. With the exception of this past Saturday's loss to the Nets, where he shot 4 for 5 from deep, Stewart's attempts from long distance have been limited. Hopefully, the Pistons will understand their shortcomings and work on them for their upcoming matches. That's all for now. Thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it entertaining, don't forget to hit that like button down below, and if you want to stay updated with more great content like this, then be sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking the red button here and just ringing the notification bell so you never miss any future content from us. Your support really means the world to us.